Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone Show. I am your co host, Mr. Stephen Bosser, along with the one, the only, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in geekdom land.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Hello, Internet.
I
Hey,
apologize if I sound nasally. I'm still trying to get over this cold that
you've
I've
had
got.
that thing like all week, right?
Yeah, I have. Every
Man.
time I think it's breaking up, it doesn't
It
go away.
rears its ugly head back again. Well, welcome everybody. It's good to have you here with us. I'm pretty excited about today's show because we are discussing dun 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 the Bad
Bad.
Batch.
I almost forgot. Like, wait a minute, what are we discussing today?
Right. We're only saying that everybody because for pre-show we talked a little bit about what's going to be on Mike's Geekdar
Yeah.
and
We kind of geeked out more about that.
we did. And so we'll probably, well, I'm not saying Bad Batch wasn't bad, but
No.
But I will say this: we'll probably spend a little time discussing that. So it'll be fun. So anyway, so hey everybody, as we said, today is Bad Batch episodes 1 and 2. I'm so thankful that they dropped more than one episode because the cliffhanger in the first episode I thought was going to kill me. We'll get to that in a little bit, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead because, as you can tell, I'm looking forward to talking about Bad Batch today.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing. That's
Yeah.
actually a really good thing. I was gonna say something that
You're
slipped out of my
you're
head.
fuzzy. Everybody, Mike's a little fuzzy today, so be patient with us because
I do have my coffee though. I got iced coffee, and I even add a little froth to it, so it's nice.
nice. Are
Quite
you saying the
good.
froth makes it much more betterer?
Yes, much more better.
There we go. Cheers, everybody.
Give me an excuse to drink of it. Take a drink
Mhm.
of it. No,
Absolutely.
I am looking forward to this season of Bad Batch. I mean, I did enjoy the first season. I thought it was a good first season. There was a lot of fun things that happened in that first season. I gotta say, I'm just slightly disappointed with the opener, but we'll get into that later.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. So, so let me ask you this. Let's do our. I guess we need to go through our geeky news and our geekdar.
I unfortunately have no geeky news this week. I mean, unless we want to have the weekly James Gunn bitch session.
No, that's okay.
Sorry.
I will say this, and this is not really going to be geeky news, but I did see something. Somebody said he's going to be writing a show or something like that. And I'm like, why is the head of a studio writing a show? There,
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
I may agree with you on that. Yeah.
I don't think he knows who he is. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he doesn't know what he's doing. In fact, that he doesn't know what he's doing in a business sense.
Right.
I don't think he understands what his role is.
Yeah. Well stated. That's better stated. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Because I'm like,
every news I hear about him frustrates me. Give me some news that's going to make me happy about him.
Right. Didn't they say though something about he's going to reveal soon what his plan is or something?
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing is there was a meme going around all last week that said that on the 6th, yesterday, Friday, because today's the 7th, today's Saturday the 7th, that WB was going to have some big thing, and James Gunn was going to announce some of his big projects for the DCU and all this stuff. And I saw that and I thought, well, okay, that's a good thing. Maybe we get some good news out of this, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to troll his Twitter page now. And somebody actually shared that post with him on Twitter. And they said, "James, is this true?" And he said, "No, it's not." That was his response. "No, it's not." And guess what? The 6 came, the 6 went, and we got no news. So I think James is telling the truth. that didn't happen. So where is all
Mm.
these plans? You know, we're hearing speculation, but
Mhm.
no plans. You know, he keeps tweeting up little messages on his Twitter feed, you know,
Mhm.
alluding that he may be doing something. Like, for instance, the Superman thing came up, and people are speculating that he's going to do Superman Up in the Air, which I think we should cover.
Mhm.
Because if he is going to do that, I think we need to go over the comic books and talk about what was in the comic books.
I think some people have stated that's like one of the really that story is a good modern Superman story.
I've heard that, but you know, the funny thing is, a few years ago, and I'm not the biggest Superman fan, so I'm not up on all of the current Superman stuff.
Mhm.
But one of the big stories a few years ago, everyone was touting, and I bought the animated movie of it, and I thought it was really good. Was Superman Unbound? Superman Unbound was really, really good. So I'm kind of surprised he's not going for that one, but
Mhm.
none of us know.
Nobody knows, right? None of us know,
Nobody knows what this guy's going to do. I don't think
right?
he knows what he's going to do.
Yeah, if he's writing a story, my thought was, dude, that's not your role anymore.
Right.
You know,
Your role is to go, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this.
right? Yeah.
uh,
So yeah, it's yeah, yeah. And we're not hearing anything from the other guy.
yeah, I got a question. Does Kevin Feige write any of the material over there at Marvel?
I doubt it.
I don't think he does.
Mm-mm.
And technically, that's what James Gunn is. He's supposed to be the Kevin Feige
Of
of the
DC.
DCU.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you writing? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be delegating that to other people.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Okay.
Okay.
That, Rhett.
Well,
Let's get into
that was the weekly James Gunn bitch session.
right. We should. It'd be funny if we had an opener every, specifically for that purpose. It's weekly James Gunn bitch session. We are complaining about the James Gunn.
What has James Gunn done or not done that we don't like this week?
Right. That's right. That's a new segment. I'm just kidding, everybody. It won't be a new segment. But
Well,
we're
it
having
seems
fun
like
with
it is.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, with that said,
All right, let's move into Geekdar. Move along. Move along. Move
All right.
along.
So what's on our Geekdar here?
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it? I'm having trouble with the radar, sir. What's wrong with it? I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps. The what? The what? And the what? You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. That's not all he's lost.
I love that. So
I do too.
I'm gonna forego my Geekdar this week because I want you to talk about yours because I think I'll end up, sharing some of my geekiness about yours. So
you got to piggyback off my Geekdar.
I am gonna piggyback off your Geekdar. Absolutely.
My Geekdar is actually a novel I just purchased, and I forgot to bring it in here with me, so I can't show it on screen. So the novel is called Noah Primeval. I ran across this on Facebook last week, and it just looked intriguing to me. So I thought, you know what, I'll pick it up. I'm always up for a good read. I'm also always behind on Goodreads. I have a list of several of them that I need to read, but yeah, it looks like Primeval just kind of took Noah Primeval just took over that. So this book is taking Noah from the Bible, Noah and the Ark, and it's kind of reimagining him as a warrior type character.
Okay.
And it almost puts him in a fantasy adventure type series, something similar to Lord of the Rings or Chronicles of Narnia.
Okay. Okay.
I thought it sounded fascinating. Oh, perfect. You got it up there and a oh Brenda just brought it in to me too.
Oh, thanks, Brenda. There we go. Oh, here, let me stop sharing the screen so you can
So yeah, here it is. There's the cover of it. Cover looks pretty cool. It's got some kind of shield and a sword on it and a snake. So, I'm on chapter 7. I just got it a few days ago, and so far I'm liking what I read, what I've read of it. It's pretty interesting. So it reimagines Noah as a warrior, because the Bible doesn't state exactly what Noah is. It doesn't tell us whether he was a farmer or whether he was
right. We just pick up where he's like, build an ark.
Right. Build an ark. I want you to build it 40 cubits by 40 cubits by 20 cubits. That's great. What's a cubit? Oh, sorry.
Right. So yeah. For those that may not know, I'm an ex-pastor and I'm a big Bible nerd. And I'm familiar. When Mike texted me, "Hey, have you heard of this?" Blah 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 blah, and I said yes. And I'm actually the author. I'm on his email list, but I have not read the books. But I got on the email list because I wanted to. And so,
mind you, he texts me back and just says yes, and I'm like, oh. Does that mean Stephen disapproves of this?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually more familiar with the theology behind it. The theology behind it's by a guy by the name of Dr. Michael Heiser. For those who are pastors or maybe familiar with a Bible software called Logos, which is pretty cool, which technically we are under our banner, we are affiliate sponsored by Logos.
Oh,
actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know that.
yeah, under our larger banner,
right,
with the company behind us and stuff. So yeah, so the Logos, Dr. Michael Heiser used to be their resident scholar on staff, kind of a thing, and he did through Faith Life, which is the parent company of Logos. They did a documentary called The Unseen Realm. And so I watched it, and everybody, Mike and I are thinking about watching it together tomorrow. So if anybody's interested, let us know in the comments. Today is the 7th, so we'll be watching it on Sunday the 8th. So there's a premise that there is more detail to the supernatural realm than what we realize. And based upon Dr. Michael Heiser is an expert in Semitic languages. That means the languages of the day of the whole area, not just Hebrew, but the languages of the time in those areas in the Middle East. And he's a biblical scholar. The Unseen Realm is his viewpoint that as he's looked at some of the languages in the scripture, and particularly Psalm 82, it talks about a divine council, and he was like, well, that's like plural, kind of a thing. And so I thought it was really fascinating. So I studied it, and if you want to get on YouTube, I just found out today that documentary is on YouTube called The Unseen Realm. It is on their Logos YouTube page, and it's like an hour and 11 minutes. So that documentary is on there. Then there is Supernatural is he did a seminar. It's like, oh gosh, I want to say there's 3 episodes. Each one's like an hour and a half of him doing it. He's at a church presenting. If you really want to get nerdy and biblical on it and stuff. I tell you all of that because Brian Godowa, that was his research. So that concept is actually what he's supposed to be bringing out in these novels. So as he's telling the story that we know of the biblical story and adding the drama and the fun fantasy style to it, part of his research to help him tell the story is the work of Dr. Michael Heiser.
Well, one of the things that intrigued me to this book was the title, and it's Noah Primeval Chronicles of the Nephilim. I'm not sure how that word is pronounced. Everybody seems to pronounce it differently.
You say tomato, I say tomato. You
Right?
say Nephilim, I say Nephilim. Yeah.
So I'm going to say Nephilim.
Okay.
But the Nephilim are these. Well, basically, we believe that they are the giants of the Bible. Like David and Goliath. Like Goliath was a giant, and who had six fingers and 6 toes. So on and so forth. They believe that the as it's described in the Bible, the sons of God came down and mated with the women of earth, and these Nephilim were born. And they believe that these giants were the Nephilim.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what really intrigued me about this, because I've always been curious about these kind of things.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, this sounds like fun. So
Right.
Yeah. And so far the book has been, it's been fun. I like the portrayal of Noah so far. I think he's interesting. I don't know if that's the way Noah was in the Bible. I don't care. It's just a fun, interesting story. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So just for the record, everybody. So today, since Mike had stated that he's got the book he's reading it, I got the Audible book for it today. So
nice tie-in.
So just want to say, if you want to try Audible, we do have an affiliate sponsorship with Audible. They're sponsored the show. So if you want to check out Audible for yourself, go to audibletrial.com/2geeks, TWOGEEKS. You get a free 30-day trial. So what does that mean? You actually get one free audiobook of your choice. They've got mystery and thrillers and fantasy and stuff. And lo and behold, guess what was on there? Noah Primeval was on there. So I got it today. Nice. That's going to be my January listen. How does that sound? I'll talk about it through the month of January. So check them out. How it works is it is a monthly membership where there's different tiers, but the main one is you pay $15 a month to get 1 credit, but that 1 credit allows you to get any audiobook of your choice. And what's really cool about that is, I mean, there's some audiobooks, I don't know if you know, but some are like $40 if you buy it outright. But yet with Audible, it's a 1 credit. All their audiobooks are 1 credit. So you pay $15. You can even get one of those super expensive 40-hour long audiobooks. I think I even have a French course that I got for 1 credit, kind of a thing. So I'm pretty excited about that. So anyway, needless to say, check them out. You can get your first 30 days. You can cancel it. But I would encourage you to try it if you love books. I love audiobooks just because I can listen to stuff while I'm cooking or walking or just hanging out or in my car while I'm driving. That's when I listen to audiobooks. So anyway, I think it's great. I'm excited. Audibletrial.com/2geeks. If you sign up and get a membership, it does help out the show. It helps that show, even if you do the 30 days. If you say it's not for me, but at least you try it, it does still help out the show. So we really appreciate it. Okay. Anyway, so Noah Primeval. Yes, I got the Audible audiobook.
That was a great tie-in.
Kind of thing, right?
Nice.
And so I'm pretty I'm looking forward to hearing it. Now, Brian Godowit is the guy, just so as some people don't know, he is the screenwriter for, I think it's To End All Wars, the movie To End All Wars. So when it came out, it was really popular and stuff. He was the screenwriter for that. Okay. So he understands Hollywood and storytelling. He's a big storyteller, but I have not read the books yet. So I'm pretty excited about, I'm actually pretty excited about listening now. Now that you're doing it, maybe this is all God's thing about saying, hey, have some fun with this.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so far I'm enjoying it. So
great.
All right. We ready to move on to our main event?
Yes, we're 20 minutes in. You betcha. Let's do this. It's time for the main event. All right, so we are not here.
Coffee for the virtual coffee table.
Right on. Since I'm not a coffee drinker, I did splurge and get this just for today. My Rockstar Pure Zero energy drink. I love them. So it's a treat for me. So, all right. That being said, we're not here to talk Brian Gottawa. Oh, we should do a or we'll do an episode on. We should do one on Noah Primeval.
Okay,
That'd be kind of fun. All right. So anyway,
I'm up for that.
We are here to talk about Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 1 and 2. So, with that being said, we are going to give everybody, as you know, our kind of framework. We do a general review, giving our score out of 10. And Mike, I'll let you decide to kind of think about what we want to do it out of.
Actually, I was thinking about this yesterday.
Okay. All right.
And I think I know where our scale is going to be.
Okay.
To be Count Dooku war chests.
Nice. I was just thinking war chest, but I like the specificity of Count Dooku's war
you can have
chests.
it to be Count Dooku's because
That's right.
Well, let's face it, that's what the I had the term in my head and the penguin slipped away with it.
That's okay. That's probably the medicine that's
yeah, I've been taking a lot of night the last 3 days. So in fact, yesterday I stayed home from work and I took nighttime all day long. So kind of napping off and on all day. So anyway, the term, I can't think of it. You know, the thing that they go for in the show or the movie that's to drive the plot forward.
The MacGuffin.
Thank you. The MacGuffin.
Oh
my
the war chest is the MacGuffin.
Yeah,
Dooku's war chest is the MacGuffin. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was the MacGuffin of the show. So yes, okay. Count Dooku's MacGuffin. Okay, Steven, just go.
Okay, sure. Here we go, everybody. So I'm just going to give you my score, and then I'll give you my overview. Okay. I give this a solid 8 out of 10 Count Dooku's war chests. Now,
really?
Episode 1 and 2. Yes, Episode 1 and 2. I give it a solid. And let me tell you why.
I am shocked.
What? Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. There were some things that I was like, okay, so, kind of thing. But
wait a minute, we got to ask the obligatory.
Yeah.
How many Steven skips?
0.
Wow. Okay.
0 Steven skips.
I am super impressed.
Yep. Here's what I liked about it, and this is why I gave it an 8. There are some things, there are some issues with it, but I was like, for an opener, it's solid. It's not great for an opener, which you should come out of the gate with a bang, and it was okay. I think there's implications for it, but it was the tension in the story. The whole time I was in it, I was rooting for them. Spoiler alert, to get, that we said that they're trying to get the war chest, and that in itself, that MacGuffin, thank you, Megan, that I wanted them to get that. I so wanted them, because I was like, if they get that, that will give them a great start to not have to deal with the tension of having to get these jobs, kind of thing. Because that was the first season. I was kind of over that, if that makes sense.
I'm shocked. Oh gosh, I wish I had the sounder from Little Rascals. I am shocked. I am confused. I am totally surprised. I expected you to give this a much, much lower score.
Okay.
Because as soon as it started, I went, yeah, Steven's going to text me and go, let's not do Bad Batch. That was my first thought that came to mind.
I loved the tension in it because I was rooting for them, and I really was. In the 2 episodes, I was really rooting for them.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. It kicked right off.
I was gonna go
went right into the A-Team storyline, and I was like, okay, we discussed this last season, and you had gotten tired of the whole A-Team,
right?
We the mission,
right? And I thought this was going to get rid of it. I really did.
Right, and we jumped right into it.
Yeah,
I was
sucked
shocked.
me right in.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked. I am mind blown.
Yeah. So
Hashtag mind blown.
that's probably the that's the GIF you should put up on the thing.
Wow.
So that's the tension is what had me. I enjoyed the tension. I was rooting for them. I'm not going to spoil anything about the end. I'll get to that later. But yeah, I was engaged. And so I said, okay, if I judge this on my engagement in it, that I was really rooting for them, okay, you did what you need to do. You sucked me in.
Gotcha.
For the main part of the story.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to leave it at that for right now.
All right,
so yeah, now it's your turn. Go for it, my friend.
All right. So again, this came on, and my first thought was, oh crap, I'm going to get text from Steven going, let's not do Bad Batch. That was my first thought.
Okay.
And there was actually a thought in my head going, I kind of agree with him. And you hadn't even texted me. And I'm going, yeah, I'm a little annoyed they kicked off the season this way. I don't mind the A-Team style mission style thing.
Okay.
I don't mind it. Don't get me wrong. But the way they ended last season and the way they started this season, I was frustrated. I was really frustrated. I'm like, okay, we're not getting any answers. And I know they can't, they don't want to give an answer right out of the gate of, where they left Crosshair.
They should have.
That's what I wanted. I wanted them to address what happened to Crosshair. And I guess they did that to, kind of hold your attention and go, well, we want to bring that into the story a little later. That's fine, but at least give me a morsel. Give me a taste of this is what's happening with Crosshair. Yeah. So I was frustrated with that. I was really, really frustrated, and it actually kind of turned me off. Yeah. I was like, come on, this is ridiculous. I want to know where he's at. I want to know what happened to him.
Right.
Now, and then we got an introduction to a new character that I could care less about. I was like, whatever.
Which one? Are you talking about the one that was where they got the job?
The one with Sid.
Yeah. I didn't care either.
I don't like the actress. I just don't like her.
I don't know who the actress was.
Oh, I do. I do. And
I just didn't like the character.
I've never liked her in anything she's been in. And I'm like, really? This brings no intrigue to me whatsoever. I don't care who you are. I don't even want to know who you are. I personally would rather you go away. And
well, for me, I didn't know who the actress was, and for me, it was just like, oh, here's somebody who gave information, and that was it. They gave information. I want my cut, and then they're out the door. Well, who is this person?
She just totally turned me off. I don't like her.
Well, there was no story for her of who she was or why she was even there or anything like that.
I think her only point is you do know that Sid said, you realize she said she's about the only pirate you can trust. So I got a feeling this is a backdoor way of bringing Hondo Ohnaka in. And Hondo Ohnaka is not one of my favorite Clone Wars characters. I know he's got a big following. I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash over that. Hondo is well loved. I thought Hondo was overused in the Clone Wars, and then in Rebels, I got sick and tired of Hondo. Maybe I'll like him better in this because we haven't seen him in a while, so it may be okay. But I just felt that character was so overused, and I just got so sick and tired of it.
Dude, there wasn't any major character growth for me for that character.
For Hondo?
Yeah.
No, there was no character growth for Hondo.
You think after all those adventures or something, he had some kind of character growth, but he pretty much stayed static, the same.
He's the exact same character he has been since day one. And I'm sure if he comes into this, he's going to be that same guy. He isn't going to be any different. Now, to move on to the positives.
Okay. All right.
Because I've tore it down enough. Oh, wait, one more negative. Get rid of the Bad Batch not actually shooting the clones. Them using the stun. I'm sick and tired of it. the Bad Batch has to realize at this point that the clones are no longer their brothers. The clones are out to kill them, and they have no qualms about killing them. So start taking the clones out and quit babying us. I'm tired of it. This is Star Wars. People die in Star Wars. I know it's a Disney show, but tough. You know, you took on Star Wars. Be Star Wars. Stop trying to make it kiddie-ish. And, you know, it just frustrates me. It frustrates me. Anyway, the positive though was Omega. I liked Omega a lot in this. I felt she had some growth. She feels like she's starting to grow into her clone mode, you know.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, she's starting to battle and actually act a little bit more like the clones, you know. You know, I mean the clones as a whole, you know, with the whole battle mentality and so on and so forth. I feel like her character's starting to embrace that a little bit more. I enjoyed that. I like her new look. I thought it was an upgrade, and they did a good job. We got rid of the Nemodian surgical
outfit, right? Yeah, agreed.
It's time to get rid of that junk and let her express herself, and I like that, and I liked her new hairdo and everything. So those were the positives.
Okay, cool. So what's your score again?
Oh, I forgot. I'm going to give it a 6. 6.
Okay.
Dooku War Chest.
6 Dooku War Chest. Okay. All right.
I felt the first episode was stronger than the second episode. The second episode lost my attention a lot. I got a little bored with the second episode, honestly. Now, the ending was interesting. The ending of second episode.
Are you talking about the very, very ending?
Yes, the very, very ending.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Where it ramped up and it got interesting, and I went, "Oh, okay, now we're going somewhere."
Yeah. We'll get to that. Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all.
All
I
right.
got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about my overview. All right. So combined score is 7 out of 10 for us total together if we averaged our scores and stuff. So, okay, I can go with that. All right. So real quick, everybody, I'm just going to give you a heads up that spoilers are ahead. Spoiler alerts. So we're going into spoilerific territory.
Oh, did we? Oh, I wasn't ready for the spoiler alert.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. There.
There you go. I gave a little bit of the spoiler alert. How's that?
That sounds great. I love it. I like it.
Well, I gave a little bit of the Ghostbusters spoiler alert. I could have gave the Star Wars one.
Yeah. No, it's okay. We're having fun, everybody. So here's the dealio. So I love the concept of the war chest. I was amazed at how much riches or whatever Count Dooku had. I like,
I watched some other videos on Bad Batch, and somebody made a good point that Count Dooku's war chest is more than just riches.
Agreed.
There's relics in there too.
Yeah.
And we didn't really get into that. And I think that would have been more interesting. Like he most likely has like Sith holocrons in there or Jedi.
Yeah.
I would be more interested in Sith holocrons and Jedi holocrons than I am riches. Riches make makes nothing in the Star Wars universe, you know. But when you start talking like that kind of stuff, and if he had like Mando armor in there or Jedi lightsaber hilts or you know, stuff like that, now that's in Star Wars intriguing, you know.
Yes, rather than just money.
Riches, I don't care. I care less.
Well, I think I agree with you. Now I did like the fact that they had that one chest of riches, and I'm like, yes, okay, Yeah, right on. That'll help them.
Right.
But if they had just like you said though, if they had another chest they opened up and it was all these relics and stuff, I've been like,
yeah. Now we're getting into the Star Wars goodies.
Well, it kind of since you say that, it kind of reminds me back to Rebels, where the whole holocron situation, having the 2 hologrons and getting those and then putting them together, the lore of the holocrons. And I was like, ooh, that was intriguing. I enjoyed that part of the storyline.
Well, and Darth Maul. Count Dooku was searching down stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. So here is one thing that I'll say about this whole thing with Count Dooku. I did enjoy the second character, the old man, because it was an intrigue of a new culture, even though it's Count Dooku's culture. But here's a person, an everyday guy who, and they were able to salvage their, tech was able to fix some box or something that's about their culture and heritage. And I was like, cool, that's neat. But Tales of the Jedi, remember, I almost started sympathizing with Dooku in that series because I was like, right on, okay. But then I no longer sympathize with him after this one because that new character said, you think he stole from other worlds? He stole from his own people.
Well, okay. Tales didn't make me sympathize with him per se, and I'll tell you why. Because I was.
I can't hear you on that one.
Clever. Oh, you can't hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I was trying to be clever and switch camera angles and anyhow,
learning new techniques, everybody.
I'll tell you why Tales did not. It didn't make me sympathize with him. I get what you're saying, and I guess in a way that's what they were going through. But there's a book. What is it? There's a Count Dooku book that came out, I think, 2 years ago. You should read that because he's always been kind of the guy we know in Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
He's always kind of been that guy. There's a lot of interesting things that are revealed about his character and stuff because he was Qui-Gon's master, actually. And he trained Qui-Gon, and it goes through a lot of that in this book. I cannot think of the name. I have the book. And there's an audio of it too. I'm sure you can get it on Audible, by the way.
Yeah.
You got audible.com. That could be your free book, by the way.
Yep. audibletrial.com/2geeks.
There you go. You can either get that or Noah Primeval.
Right on.
There, we're pushing 2 books today. So yeah, read that. And you will not sympathize so much with Dooku. You won't have to.
Jedi Lost?
Yeah, that's it. Jedi Lost.
Okay.
You got a cover? You got a picture of the cover?
Yes. Give me just a second.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure there was an audio of this too.
There is an audio book that is available on Audible.
Perfect.
All right, here, let me share the screen real quick.
Or you can buy the physical copy on Amazon.
You sure can, and it's on Kindle.
Oh, there you go, too.
As well. Okay.
And I'm sure it's on Nook, too. I haven't.
Right.
There we go. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Is that Ventress?
Yes, it is. It's Ventress. So it goes into Ventress' story a little bit, too.
Is it a script?
Yes, it was supposed to be like 2 episodes of the Clone Wars that got dropped. Yeah. So
very interesting.
It was supposed to be a storyline in the Clone Wars and it got dropped. So
okay.
Check out that book. That's a pretty good book if you want to learn more about Dooku. And me as somebody, I remember when Revenge of the Sith, when Attack of the Clones came out, Dooku was like, he was like my least favorite Star Wars character ever.
Oh, really?
Part of this,
Christopher Lee.
Part of the reason is I hate his name, Dooku.
Yeah,
a terrible name. He should go by his Darth name.
Right,
Darth
Tyrannus.
That's much more better.
Much more better. Love it.
Than Dooku.
Yeah.
Dooku's
Dooku's too close to Voodoo.
That's right. It sounds wrong.
Right.
So, but yeah, that book actually made me more interested in the character of Count Dooku. And then Tales of the Jedi did a great job of that too. So
yeah, they did. I enjoyed it. But I understood his motivation a little bit in Tales of the Jedi.
yeah, I get it.
And all. But good call. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Now, continuing on. We were talking about Dooku, his role, meeting that one guy who talked about the culture. Yeah, move along. I want to, just because I thought it was an interesting part, I do want to talk about the very end. So here's the spoiler, everybody.
Yes.
So the one guy, what was the officer's name?
Oh gosh, I knew I should have had IMDb up.
Right? I know, right? But he's back.
I wasn't prepared.
I didn't really like his character at the end of the first season of Bad Batch.
Oh, I hated his character at the end of Bad Batch.
And then, arguing about clones or arguing about, he was saying not to continue with the clones, right? That was his premise.
Yes.
We need to get these kids.
I mean, we know that happens,
Right. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And then so how he sees clones, trying to remember back how he really saw clones and stuff. But
Admiral Rampart, I
Okay.
think that's his character.
Is that it? Okay. So
Yes,
so-
it's Admiral Rampart.
okay.
You know who I kind of, I kind of equate him to the guy in Andor, which I hated. The Imperial guy in Andor, and then he kind of loses his job, and
Right.
there's part of me that feels that he's kind of like him, and I
Yeah.
just had no interest in that character in Andor whatsoever.
Right.
But when this happened, I was like, oh, okay, this makes him a little more interesting because he's kind of going against the Empire's leadership to protect his butt, obviously. But I don't know. I think it makes him a little more intriguing. It gives him a little more depth.
At the end of this episode.
Right at the end of this episode.
Yeah. So tell everybody what happens.
So at the end, he confronts. I don't know which clone that is. I'm so bad.
It was Captain
somebody.
Yeah.
It's D. Bradley Baker because D. Bradley's every one of the clones.
Right.
That's funny. Anyway, Captain, whatever his name is, he confronts him, saying that his report was wrong. That because he reported
There's
that
discrepancies in your report,
right? That the Bad Batch, he reported that the Bad Batch were still alive.
Yes.
And where Rampart had reported they had been killed. And he's like, well, I had visual confirmation that two of them were alive, and I'm not going to
alter my
report. And he's like, well, that's just too bad that you wouldn't do that. And he shoots him.
Right. I mean, we're talking like in the face kind of a thing.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't see it, but I mean,
right.
Point blank range. I'll put it that way.
Which is another reason we need to get rid of the stuns, Disney. Oh, sorry. Hashtag get rid of stuns. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm harping on that. I apologize.
No. Okay.
Now, my only disappointment with that is, as a captain, a clone captain, he should have kind of anticipated a little bit and fought back. But I get it; it was the way to make the story move forward, and you had to sacrifice somebody. So, yeah,
right.
I get it. Okay.
Or show how bad this bad guy is.
Right. And I think it was a very effective scene for that. They did a good job of that.
Mm-hmm.
That scene alone, that could take this first two episodes up a notch, actually.
Yeah. I was shocked by it. I mean, I shouldn't have been, but I was like, well, okay, so he's actually how shall I say? He's a good bad guy.
Well, he's smarter than most of the Imperials. You know,
Yeah.
I will inform Vader myself.
Right.
Yeah, good idea. You just go do that.
Yeah, you go do that.
Because we all know what happens when you bring Vader bad news.
That's right. Right.
You're dead.
Yeah, I'm not bringing them this news, you know.
The Empire is the only organization where nobody wants to get promoted.
But yeah, no one wants to get promoted, and no one wants to definitely be on a Zoom call with Darth
Right.
Vader. If you guys haven't seen it, Mike posted a great meme.
What was it? Vader, king of Zoom calls since 1982.
1980.
And it shows
Oh,
the scene with the Imperial commander apologizing for bringing the fleet out too early or whatever, and
right.
and apology accepted, Captain Nita.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ever apologize to Vader. You're gonna die.
Right.
You have a better chance of running away. You should have defected. Where'd Captain Nita go? He went AWOL, sir.
Oh gosh.
No, I don't want his position.
Too late. There's nobody else. No, I think that's one thing about those officers is all of them are driven to backbite, do whatever it takes to move up. That was evident in
That's
Andor.
true. Yeah, that was one of the things in Andor that Andor really pushed, you know. Yeah, there's no loyalty among officers in the Empire.
Right. Which makes you wonder how they're able to survive as an organization, actually. But
well, it's really hard when your leadership's killing everybody.
Right. Well, at least you can say there's always opportunities for advancement.
I guess so. Job fills. Don't worry. In about 3 months, he'll screw up and Vader will kill him.
Yep.
HR posts an open position.
Yeah.
We have an opening for fleet commander. Bob the stormtrooper goes, I'm applying for that, and his buddy George is going, no, don't do it.
Right. Bob the Trooper. That's a new series. Can he fix it? Yes, he can.
Can he shoot it? No, he can't.
You're right.
Bob the shooter.
Use these dadgum helmets the whole time. Take off your helmet. You'll shoot better.
Apparently the clones' visors are better.
You're right.
Clones were superior in everything. So.
Right. So overall, what are your predictions for this show, just based upon these 2 episodes? Because the reason I'm asking is normally the first 2 episodes, you're supposed to start off with a bang, and while it was solid,
we got a bang at the end of this one.
Well, we did. We got an interesting character surprise kind of a thing with what's his name killing the trooper, but the captain. But in general, what are your thoughts? I'm
having a hard time seeing exactly where they're going with this.
Okay.
Because I really thought we were going to be done with the whole mission centric, A-team style stuff, and then we jumped right back into it, which I was slightly disappointed with. I'm like, okay, it's time for us to move forward. I thought with going, the way Sid presents it at the beginning of episode 1, where she's like, look, if you go after this war chest,
you're done.
You're done. You won't have to do this style anymore.
And I was rooting for him for that purpose, because I wanted to be over the A-team.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
Right.
The MacGuffin slips through their fingertips. So I honestly don't know where they're going. And at some point, we got to meet back up with Crosshair. Where does Crosshair fall in all this?
Yeah.
You know, will they accept him back into the fold at one point, or does he remain on the Empire side? Does he stay with them? Because from what we saw at the end, towards the end, Crosshair doesn't line up with the Empire either. I mean, Crosshair's kind of on his own.
He's a lone wolf.
Yeah, he's a lone wolf, which could be more dangerous. You know, I could put him into bounty hunter territory, which I'm kind of okay with that. Team him up with Cad Bane.
Right on.
Wait a minute. Cad Bane still, I don't know.
Right. I don't timeline I'm all fuzzy with. Yeah.
I don't know. So I really don't know where they're going. So what are your thoughts?
While I enjoyed these, I thought it was a good, solid beginning. It did not hook me, if that makes sense. I enjoyed it, but do I feel like I have to watch the next episode? Now, between 1 and 2, I did feel like I had to, because I was like, oh my goodness, it's already been 20 minutes, kind of a thing. So, like, what's going to happen to him? So I was like, okay, yeah. But in all openness, there wasn't anything within the opening story, these first 2 episodes, that told me really what the overarching, what's going to be happening or where we're headed. And there's not even, one of the things I don't like about Disney Plus series, period, is there's never really a commercial about what's coming next.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
They didn't do that with Willow. They didn't do, which, I'm 7 episodes in on Willow.
I think that's true in most of the streaming services, though. I think that's just the way they've they've went.
Well, I think they're going to need it. My personal opinion is they need to go back to it, because there's so much on TV. There's so much content.
Right. And they need to give you a hook for the next.
They need to give you a hook for the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's been lost from old style television, that I think you're right. I think it needs to come back and give us a little taste of what's to come in the next episode. Clone Wars used to do that. Clone Wars gave it to us, but Clone Wars still fell slightly in the style of old style television, being the fact it was a Cartoon Network episode, series.
Right.
It was fully weekly series. I mean, I know this is a weekly series too.
What was the phrase? Tune in next week when.
That's right. Exactly. It's almost the Saturday morning cartoon style, and I miss Saturday morning cartoons. Let's face it. All of us Gen Xers loved getting up on Saturday mornings in our PJs, especially in the wintertime, wintertime when it's, snowy outside and you couldn't do anything. And it's like, all right, get up in my PJs, get my Captain Crunch and I'm going to watch my favorite cartoons, And
right.
I miss that kind of stuff. That's something that doesn't exist today. It's something that kids today don't understand.
Yeah.
It's something they're missing out that we Gen Xers had.
Yeah. So. Well, I think, obviously the world changes and styles change and stuff, but I will say this, that I do think there needs to be a commercial ready saying tune in next week, because I don't feel like I have to watch next week, or I feel like I have to, I can't wait for next week. I don't have that at all. And I'll be open with you. I don't know if I don't know how I feel if I want to do episode by episode or not. You know what I mean? Like I think I'd rather wait till, how it used to be. I wait till the story finishes. You remember how there was always in Clone Wars, like 3 episodes made a story kind of a thing. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing. And I'm okay with that.
Well, I think that's a good format for them. Have the 3-story arc.
3 episodes make a story.
3 episodes make a story arc and stuff. I think that's a great model for them to follow. I don't know. We'll just have to see. It may be only 2, because this was 2.
That's true. That's true.
So we may be 2 episodes equal a story arc, and then something within the full story arc of the entire season. Then I'll tell you why we're not getting the whole tune in next week is because we don't have the great Tom Kane to do that. You know, Tom Kane had his stroke last year.
Right.
He is unable to voice the narrator voice which he was a fantastic. His voice is amazing.
It's great.
Yeah. So
yep.
Miss Tom Kane, and I wished he could recover enough that he could do that. That would be amazing if we could get him back. But
we understand.
So that's probably why we're not getting the tune in next week, because we don't have the great Tom Kane to do it.
Yeah, maybe. Tough to say. So either way, I'm not particularly like, oh, this is going to be a great season. I don't have that inkling from these first 2 episodes.
Okay. I enjoyed season 1 of Bad Batch.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very good. I will watch this. I'm a Star Wars completist. I got to watch everything, you know?
Right.
So I definitely will watch it because I want the full story. I want to know what happens to the Bad Batch and how they grow and so on and so forth, and what happens with Omega. I want to know that. Is it Omega or Omega?
Right. I'll have to pay attention next week. I still, after the whole full season and 2 episodes in the second season, I
don't know how to say it.
Well,
I think with their Australian accent, they all say Omega, but
right.
I don't know. Anyway, tomato, right? Nephilim.
There you go. Nicely played.
But I will watch it. I don't think we're going to cover this episode by episode. I don't know. We got to play this out and see how it goes.
Right.
But we definitely will have a follow-up at the end for sure, you know, to talk about how it wrapped up and everything. And maybe we'll do something in the middle, because this is a long run. This is
how many episodes? Man, I'm afraid we're going to have a bunch of filler. Remember last year I got upset about filler episodes?
Well, that's why I said I don't think we're going to be doing this episode by episode.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's a lot of episodes. It goes into March. So we got January, February, and March. And it also overlaps with the Mandalorian, because the Mandalorian's coming out, I think, in March too.
Okay.
And we're definitely covering the Mandalorian.
Right on. Okay.
I'm stating that now.
Stephen, prepare yourself. Everybody, prepare yourselves.
I love the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's probably the best Star Wars TV show. You know, next closest would probably be Obi-Wan Kenobi after Mandalorian. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Mandalorian season 3. So, and I keep calling Bad Batch season 3 because season 1 was so long. I felt it should have been 2 seasons.
Both season 1 and season 2 are 16 episodes.
See?
Thanks, Megan.
So I'm going to think that Bad Batch season 3 is actually season 4.
Right.
The end date is March 29th.
And what's the beginning date for The Mandalorian? I threw a curveball there.
You sure did.
She's trying to be a good Tito to us, and I throw her a curveball.
March 1st.
There you go. See,
March 1st. Okay, so there's a month
overlaps right with Mandalorian, which is another reason I said we're not going to do episode by episode of this, but
gotcha.
we will give updates as it goes along, and we'll do a couple full show episodes on this. So
I will say to everybody, tune in next week, because I will do, for my Geekdar, I will do my review of Willow.
Oh, okay. I still haven't watched it.
Don't bother.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Listen, my world is wrapped around time, and my time structure and what I can watch and stuff like that. And I've done Willow because I love fantasy. That's why I'm excited about the Noah Primeval. So I will be open with you. This last episode 7, I probably, out of a 45-minute show, I Steven skipped probably 40 minutes.
Wow.
I just said, oh, that looks interesting. I'll watch that little bit. Oh, that looks interesting. I'll watch that little bit.
Wow.
Because it's just repeated dialogue I'm already giving my review. Tune in next week, everybody.
Yeah.
I'll finish it out once we get the whole big picture.
Hey, Steven, save it for the podcast.
I'll save it for the podcast.
Save it
Oh,
for
my
next
goodness.
week's podcast. Okay. All right.
Right,
cool.
right.
All right. Well,
All right, everybody. Well, there you have it. There you are. Our 7 out of 10 rating for the new show, and we'll see where it goes.
yeah. I mean, we'll cover it. We just won't cover it week by week.
Right. All right, everybody. So, well, with that, I want to make one more reminder to you for our audibletrial.com/2geeks. Please check that out. Get yourself a free audiobook. If you've never been on Audible before, give it a shot. Give it a try. Free 30-day trial. You can cancel, but at least you get that free Audible audiobook. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Also, don't forget to check us out on our website, which is www.2geeksmike.com. I'm actually typing this in to the show, 2geeksmike.com. That is where you can find us, all things 2 Geeks, as well as don't forget to check out our Ko-fi page. We have 3 tiers, $1 get you some really cool fun stuff, and then I'm trying to get it in there. There we go. And then our Ko-fi page, we have a $2 tier and a $3 tier.
You still got the spoiler thing up.
Oh, I still got the spoiler. Well, I was trying to type stuff into the chat. So here, let me, we need, let me see. I'm getting it. I'm getting to the banners. Here we go. All right. There's 2geeksmike.com. Also Ko-fi 2 Geeks. Oh, wait a minute. I think I messed that up on the Ko-fi one. I sure did. Let me redo that. I'm trying to text it to or get it into the chat too as well. Ko-fi/2 Geeks. You think I would know these things, but I'm so used to just pushing a button and having them available. So, yeah. So with that, also, if you have any question, comments, or anything else about the show, you can comment below and or show@2geeksmike.com. You can email us there as well. But all things to get to our merch page, to get our Ko-fi page, to get to our podcast page, our YouTube page, the whole gambit, is 2geeksmike.com. All right. Anything else, Mr. Mike?
Yeah. If you made it this far, please make sure and like and subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel, and every like and subscribe helps the algorithm. And with that said, over and out. And shoot, I don't have a tagline for this one. I don't know. May the force be with you. How's that?
Sounds great.
Thank you for joining us today on the 2 Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
may the force be with you.